Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Very nice. Live streaming offline? Okay, I was about to say. But no. You fix this. Mm-hmm. Let's go ahead and turn this all the way down. Now, let's see. Let's start with this. Let's go ahead. What up, man? Well, happy Halloween. What up? See, the only problem, not so much problem, the only potential blimp in the system for today's live stream is that it is Halloween. And the time in which I'm doing this might not be the most optimal time, although we got 9 people here, so it's not bad. We got the squad here. But at least on the East Coast, I would say about now is when trick-or-treaters get back, for the most part. If you're on the West Coast or in the central part of the United States, you might be heading out soon or out right now. What up, RJ? Day was busy. My days are always busy, though, so ain't not really new. But today was a good day, busy day. I got a nap, and when I came home, oh, it was so good. I passed out. I passed out so fast. Nah, but if you guys are already back from trick-or-treating, hopefully you got some good candy. Personal favorite candies. I love Reese's. Reese's are always a good one to go to. Snickers are good. Although one low-key favorite is Nerds. But not like the crazy flavors, just like the regular pack that's like purple and pink. Whatever those flavors are, that's like a low-key favorite. And then you have your chocolates or whatever. That's cool too. But everything else I can kind of live without. If I got those, I'm good. But I'm obviously not trick-or-treating. Like, I took a nap, did some homework, did some design work, doing this live stream, then I got more homework, then I'm going to pass out. So, pretty good day. 2 backpack. Here's the thing. First of all, that's awesome. I really hope that you're not going to have to go to the dentist because of that, because that's a lot of candy. 2 backpacks worth of treats. Sheesh. The most I ever probably got was, at the most, like half a pillowcase. Not like a big pillowcase, like a regular pillowcase, at the most. You know what's funny about Sour Patch Kids? And y'all gonna think I'm crazy. I don't think I've ever had Sour Patch Kids. Like, I cannot recall a moment in time in which I had Sour Patch Kids. And I don't know if I should have said that because that's going to go like hard in the dislikes. What's up, Carter? What up, 2121? Project. Everybody in here. We rolling 12, 14 deep. That's what's up. But yeah, I never had Sour Patch Kids. RJ's dumbfounded. He's like, what? Like, that's like blasphemy. I know. That, like, it's not like I don't know what they are. Passing by every single time I go to the grocery store. I was just never inclined to pick those up over any other option. Like, I would always pick up a chocolate way before I would even think about reaching for a Sour Patch Kids. Okay? So, because I would never purchase it, that means that I would not be able to really taste them unless I got them for free. Problem was, in Halloween, if I ever got them for Halloween, that would be one of the items that were trade worthy, you know? Like, alright, kid who doesn't like Reese's because he doesn't like peanut butter, I will trade you a top draft pick, Sour Patch Kids, because I know they're your favorite. But in return, I want like 3 things of chocolate or whatever that are small. You know, do a little negotiation, hustling. What's up? Do you play Fortnite? What's up, Kool-Aid? You already know, man. The squad's here. The whole squad's in here. By the way, this is a pretty simple one. The only complex part is the swoosh with all that drip. All nice drip. But it's not going to take too long, which is good because I have homework to do and you guys got lives to live. So it all works out. I don't play Fortnite. Okay, real quick. Sound off in the comment section. If either you play Fortnite or if you don't play Fortnite, what battle royale game mode that you play, and if you don't, what video game that you play. And if you don't play video games, shout out to you, because I mean, I think most people play video games to some extent. I would imagine most of the people who watch my videos, at least, because like when we're talking about video games, that's like a broad category. Now what I play, I don't play Fortnite. I've played it once. I've seen live streams of it. I understand the game. Maybe if I played it a lot more, I would be more inclined to go ahead and play it, and I would enjoy it. But I prefer PUBG. That's just me. Now, that being said, PUBG is kind of dying out. They're not really doing a lot of good updates to it. It's been stale. It's kind of like a piece of pizza that's just sitting out there for a while. You know, the heat's already off of it. It's still good to eat, but it's not as good as it once was when it was fresh. That was a great analogy. I don't think I could have come up with anything better than that. Alright, so bottom is done. Okay, let me go ahead and add these lines real quick. But other than that, the bottom's done. I can't wait to get to the swoosh. That's the fun part. We're going to do this. Y'all already know. We're going to do this. Yeah, I prefer PUBG. That being said, you would think that I might transition over to Call of Duty. I don't have Black Ops 4. I'm also not trying to spend too much money on video games. So that's a problem. I have an Xbox One if anybody's interested. What I really want is a PS4. That Spider-Man game looks sick. I don't know if you guys played that game. Even if you got these shoes, that's what's up. Even if you haven't played the Spider-Man game, you should listen to the soundtrack. The soundtrack makes you feel like you're a superhero. So every time you open up the game, you get into the game, you feel like you're inclined to do some good for the city. It's amazing. I would use better words than amazing, but it's not PG, so hey, stop. Let's see, or off finish line. Were these hard to get, by the way? Because I haven't copped sneakers in so long. You guys already know that I'm broke. Like, I can't. I could afford sneakers, but it would be a bad business decision to cop sneakers when I could pay for tuition or gas or anything else that takes priority over copping a pair of nice sneakers. Even if I had money to cop, like let's say somebody gave me $200, I'd cop something pretty low-key, something nice, something comfortable, because I'm not trying to get into anything too fancy until I can actually afford a decent collection of fancy nice sneakers. So you're not going to see me cop Jordans for a while. Like, no joke. Like, I'm not planning on copping sneakers hardcore for at least another year or two. At least. I'm not copping sneakers hardcore until I pay off my tuition. And even then, when that happens, I'll probably have a car payment that I want to get paid off. So, too many responsibilities, man. But that day will come where I'm going to cop a good amount of sneakers. But, I mean, I'm pretty comfortable keeping my collection light for the long run. Like, back when I was first getting into sneaker collecting, I mean, obviously I wanted every pair that I can get my hands on, even if I didn't really like it. And that's the problem. Because, guys, like, let's be objective. We're not talking about, like, clothing, where it's, like, 30 or 40 bucks a shirt at the most. Sneakers are expensive. Like, I know, surface level point, but it's true, man. Sneakers are expensive. I don't have the money for that. And if you don't either, you just got to resist the urge and you got to hold off. Unless you want to save, which is fine. But in my position, yeah, I could save. But that $200 can go a long way on something else. Somebody stepped on your Yeezys? That's disrespect. That's like fighting words. Alright, what we got here? What are we looking at? Very nice, very nice. So we're going to work on the lacing system, the upper. Filling in the color is going to be super easy. We're not going to go crazy on it. We are going to do the detail on the swoosh, though. I want that to look good. But everything else, I'm not really too concerned. Again, this is not going to be a super long video. Y'all already know that I got homework. I got design work I got to do. So much I got to do. I had this great, wonderful, ambitious plan of doing live streams and then highlights of the live streams. I haven't had the time to do that. It's annoying, yo. It's really annoying. There we go. So let's talk about some basketball. First of all, the Lakers are playing tonight. I feel like at this point, the start of the season at least, I don't really get excited for the immediate end result of a game if it's not the Lakers. Because the Lakers, to me, have the most interesting storyline because, like, and you guys already know that I love the hypothetical highway, so let's just go down it real quick. Let's just take this drive, kind of go down this highway and see what happens. If the Lakers don't make the playoffs, that's an L. That's huge, huge L. Could they very well get a max-level free agent this upcoming offseason? So a year from now, basically. Yeah, I believe it. Is it going to be way easier to do that if they make the playoffs? Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Now, I don't know, because there's a number of players in the works. Klay Thompson had that amazing, unbelievable, disrespectful 52-point game the other day. 2 days ago, I believe it was. Made 14 threes. No regard for human life, just destroying everybody in the court. That was amazing to see. I'm salty about the Warriors being as good as they are, but whatever, he's good, so I guess good for him, right? He has been brought up in the discussion because, A, his father used to be a Laker. Pretty good Laker at that. Not like an all-time great, but a good Laker. Also worked for ESPN as a commentator, I believe, for the Lakers. So he's been in the lineage for a bit. Obviously, he would love for his son to be a Laker. He would love for his son to be happy and have success. But if that can also be included with the option of being a Laker, he would be super ecstatic. And I'm sure he has a great connection with his son. So that might help him, right? Might help his case to come down to Los Angeles. And that would be great. If they got Klay Thompson, sheesh. They have good traction. They look like they do. Look at the traction. They look like they got good traction. Again, and like this is so the slime, goop, drip thing they got going on. Like when I first saw this image, I'm like, is that a custom? And I looked into it. I'm like, that's a general release? I'm like, okay, because it looked like, because it has custom characteristics the way it is. And I like it when sneakers kind of go outside the mold of what we expect. And they do these weird, artistic, conceptual things. And, like, it's not breaking the boundaries too much because it's Halloween. So you got that green slime. So it's not like, oh, it's the most creative thing in the world. No, but it's different. It's not just coloring each section. It's taking it a step beyond, adding a little bit of creative element to it. And I appreciate that. So that's why I think it's cool. So if you're able to cop these... hopefully it wasn't that difficult. I don't know if these things sold out or not. Again, I've been outside the game for a minute, so I haven't actually copped anything in a while. But if you're able to cop them, hopefully it wasn't too difficult and you were having to, like, pull an arm and a leg to get them. Hopefully it was relatively easy. But, okay, back to LeBron and and his team. So, again, they're looking to get potentially Klay Thompson as well as potentially Anthony Davis. There are rumors. I have an older sister, so just one sibling. There are rumors, okay, that they're looking to get Anthony Davis. That would be a huge, huge piece to add to the roster. Obviously, that would be at the expense of certain pieces And the reason why I say that, as opposed to being a free agent, is because he would have to be traded. Because I believe he has a few years left in his contract. And what they're saying is that could happen as early as this season before the trade deadline. Before the trade deadline. So that would mean if they are in the running to be in the playoffs, because at this rate, if they could just get like a 34th seed, that would be the sweet spot right there, because they're not going to get the first seed, they're not going to get the second seed. And I thought the Rockets were going to be comfortably in that second seed because they added Carmelo over the offseason, but apparently they're having some struggles themselves. Let's see. Let's go ahead and add this. Because the Rockets are 1-5. I'm white. No, I'm not white. I'm Spanish. Colombian. My race, I guess, is Caucasian, though. That's how it is on, what is it, like driver's license and stuff like that? So my nationality is Hispanic. But you gotta put Caucasian or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand that, by the way. If somebody knows, that's cool. But I'm not African American. I'm sure I got like 0.04% African American in me, but that's because we all probably should. You know, Pangea. Actually, wait, no. Pangea is way before human existence. I know everybody, like, mankind started in Africa. Pangea was like millions of years ago. Humans are not that old. By the way, in case you guys didn't already know this, and I knew this, but sometimes you forget the obvious things. Like, so dinosaurs, right? No, I'm from, my lineage is Colombian, which is not in Mexico. Colombia is South America. When you think about dinosaurs, and this might blow your mind, some people don't think about this too often. Let's not do that. Let's do this. There we go. I'm sure you guys have seen either, I don't know, movies, TV shows, something, where like it'll show dinosaurs and people like caveman. Okay. Here's the thing. Dinosaurs were 65 million years ago. Okay? Dinosaurs were 65 million years ago. Humans have not existed even a fraction of that. I believe humans are like, based off the recordings of what we found, like 100,000 years old. For a while, though, we were stuck in caves, yo. We were stuck in caves because that's all we could do. We couldn't go outside. We couldn't handle these creatures that had these horns and that were way bigger and faster and stronger than us, and all we had were these sticks and these rocks. And God bless the guy who invented a weapon, you know, so that way they could actually hunt for something that was a little bit bigger than a squirrel. And this is facts. So whenever you see any kind of representation of whatever where it implies that there is a dinosaur alongside with a human being, whether it be a cartoon or whatever, just know that that's not the most accurate thing that you're going to see all day. I question that. I mean, look, man, I don't know about that. That seems questionable. By the way, is that gap closed? Yeah. Okay, cool. Very good, very good. Like, think about that, guys. And it was only like the past 10,000 years that we as humans really started to make growth and progression in terms of civilization. 10,000 years. 10,000 years. That is insane. For a while, I don't know what we were doing. Like, I don't know how we survived that long in caves, to be honest. That's just remarkable. Can you imagine? Because I couldn't even imagine being alive 100 years ago and dealing with all that crap. Like, that'd be straight, like, thank God. Okay. Thank God I was born in the era that I am. A, so I can watch LeBron James play. B, so that way I don't have to be a part of a a draft for a war where we have to walk on foot with these guns that we have to reload by hand. You guys think about that? The First World War, these guys were on foot. They reloaded their guns by putting gunpowder in it. Okay? The Second World War, I believe they were using bombs and napalms and all that great stuff, right? Terrible stuff. But even then, thank God I wasn't alive to be forcefully put in a draft where I had to go out there and probably die. You guys are, I'm sure, familiar with D-Day, right? Can you? Okay, I'm gonna paint a scene, and this is gonna be, oh my God, this is gonna be so good. I find this stuff fascinating. It's scary to think about, but I'm also happy that I have the luxury of talking about this, like, what, 80 years after it happened, when I'm in my room on my iMac doing a digital illustration live stream on YouTube for you guys to watch, versus actually being there. So let me try to paint a picture for you guys. And we definitely strayed away from the basketball talk, but we'll get back into it. Maybe. We'll probably will, though. But just, you give me studying for test. No, okay, so ready? Okay, so think about this. This would be like, what was it? The war? World War II was in the 40s, I believe. If I'm wrong, I didn't tell you this. Somebody else told you. So World War II, I believe, was in the 40s, okay? So D-Day is like a low-key mission. We're pretty much basically ambushing the Germans off the coast of France, I believe. It was off of some coast. We had to go to some island. I believe it was New England or whatever. I don't know. Point is, we flanked these guys, right? They weren't expecting us, and we came at them quicker than they expected. But here's the thing. These guys are bundled up together like M&Ms in a package that are U-boats, right? These boats, and they'll have their helmets. They have all their gear. They're holding on to their guns. They're packed together like sardines in these boats. Okay, this is crazy. Probably hundreds, I don't know about thousands of boats. Definitely hundreds of boats. This was their game plan. Okay? Listen to their plan of attack. We have this beach, Normandy. We're going to storm it, okay? We don't have like ships that can just go and nuke the place, because I don't know why they didn't do that. Maybe it wasn't a good idea. Maybe they could. I don't know. They just didn't do that. Their plan of attack, over thousands of ships. How many people died that day? I forget. Was it it was thousands, but I don't know if it was tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands. I don't know. 5,000? Sheesh. Okay. I don't know if it was thousands of ships then. If it's only 5,000 people died. Unless that was 5,000 ships. Okay. The numbers are crazy regardless. I'm going to get them wrong. But okay, think about this. Their strategy, we're going to go and we're going to knock on these guys' doors. Basically. Because they're in the water. Boats stick out from the water. If you're far enough, you can't see them. But eventually, you can see them. Eventually, these hundreds or thousands or whatever the number is of boats are going to be noticed. And it's not like you're going through a forest. It's not like, you know, you have natural cover from the earth. You have the water. That's the opposite of cover. That's the absence of cover. It is what it is. That was their mode of transportation. They couldn't get to them anywhere else. So they're going face first. These guys are having to get off of these boats, run down the beaches, and you have to understand the mindset probably. What's up, Crinksy? Like, unfortunately, the mindset probably was run down towards the beach, get some cover, shoot back. You might die. You probably will die. You are definitely going to be surrounded by people that are getting shot at, that are going to die left and right. If you can even get to like behind like metal spikes or whatever they had that was like some sort of cover on the beaches, congratulations, because that's more than most people will get to. because the way it was, it's like they were literally storming them to the point where there was too many people to shoot. And they couldn't deal with all the people that were coming in, and they just got overrun. That doesn't mean that people didn't die. A lot of people died. A lot of people died. But that was like the single greatest invasion in the history of whatever. Can you imagine? You're holding onto your gun. Your heart is beating at a pace you've never felt before because you don't know when you're going to die. You just expect to die. As you're on the boat, you're like a few miles offshore. You hear bullets whizzing right by you, right? You look over, somebody just got shot in the head. He's bleeding all over the floor, but he's not dead. He's like, hyperventilating. Now your heartbeat is like at an all-time pace, right? You can't even sweat anymore. Your face is probably all white. You're still a few miles offshore. You hear these bullets. You're getting shot at. You could shoot back, but you got to save your bullets because they have ammunition stashed. You have whatever you have, and you got to save bullets for when you actually have a good shot because they're hiding in bunkers. You don't have a good shot at them. They have a way better shot at you. And while you're thinking of all this, right, you're still getting shot at. And then you hear, I can't whistle, but if I could, I would, right? You hear that whistle sound. Starts off faint, right? Gets louder, a little louder, a little louder. And you hear, take cover! Everybody starts buckling down, getting close to the ground of the U-boat. And you just pray whatever that is, and you're pretty sure it's a bomb. You just pray that it doesn't kill everyone in your area. Because you know that bomb is going to kill. Can you imagine? I would much rather do this. I would way much rather do these live streams than that. God bless all those people, yo. God bless all those people. Braver men than me. I would have cried like a you know what. But then again, I mean, it's a different world back then, So yeah, rest in peace to those people. But I just think that's crazy. I couldn't even fathom what that would be like to be in that scenario. Because you're like miles offshore, but they can see these boats. Bullets are whizzing right by you. People are dying before you guys even get close. Then you got to get off the boat. You have to go through the water. A little bit of water because the boat is obviously going to stop right before it hits the edge of the water. So now, have you guys ever try to walk through water? That gets really hard really fast. You're definitely not running at full speed. You're definitely kind of you're definitely like at a quarter speed at best. And you're wearing a lot of heavy stuff because you got your ruck pack and you got your armor and all that stuff. And you got this heavy gun that you don't. And when y'all play Call of Duty, like how you can run and gun and aim. Okay, that's really hard to do in real life, especially when you know that when you die, you die. So are you trying to like fire back? Because you don't want to just fire back random bullets in that direction in which you're getting shot at, because that's a waste of time when you could be saving energy to go ahead and maybe find some decent cover. Again, they're storming beaches, and from the depictions of what I saw, there would be like these giant spikes, almost like jacks on the beach that are metal, so you can kind of hide behind them. But they're spikes. They're like spherical spikes, basically. So there's definitely not enough to cover everybody. And as you're trying to run to them, people are getting shot. Maybe you're getting shot. And now you're getting shot at something that's a lot closer to you. So the chances of you getting hit are good. But the strategy is go, 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 go. They can't get us all. They're not ready for us. They don't know we're coming. They weren't expecting this. They don't have the time to call for reinforcements. If everybody just goes. Yeah, they were only like no bigger than the width of a few guys, I think. But that's for the whole thing, right? So each spike itself was the width of maybe a person. They would come out from like an atom, basically. But the width of a spike was maybe the width of a person, yeah. So you're running towards these spikes. Everybody else is trying to run towards the spike too. You know, you got some guys that are already shooting back from like the U-boats or whatever. But still, man. Maybe even using people as cover. Dead bodies. Like, way rather do this. Okay. Rest in peace to all those brave people, by the way. Appreciate you guys. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do some... do this real quick. And then we're going to do the swoosh. And we're going to add some color, and then we're going to be good. It's a very unique live stream. Be talking about World War II. But, like, and you know what's fascinating? I wasn't into history at all when I was in school. At all. I wasn't into science at all. Now I'm, like, fascinated by all of it. I'm telling you guys, it's interesting stuff. It really is. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's start getting some of these stuff. So I want to break it down real quick. Plan of attack. The line work is no different than what we've been doing. Okay, we know this. Line work is pretty simple. These edges get curvy. That's okay. I'll handle that as light work. Right. We got these dots. I want to take care of the dots first. All these circles. You should be a shoe designer and a history teacher. You can teach the history of mankind through footwear design. There we go. If what I said sounded remotely interesting, there's a few good movies. One that I want to see that I haven't seen, Dunkirk. I mean, I would get your parents' permission because some heavy stuff. But Dunkirk, I believe is by, what was his name? He did the Dark Knight movies, I believe. Christopher Nolan. I believe it was by him. Yeah, pretty sure it's by him. Oh my god, there we go. There we go. You know what's crazy about World War II? And, okay, so a previous shoot before they make the actual thing. Well, so these are live streams, so I don't have the illustration done before I do the live stream. Otherwise, that'd be very counterproductive because, I don't know, that'd just be like very counterproductive. Because it'd be like doing the same thing twice. But I do have the image, and the reason why I don't have the thumbnail done before the live stream is because I have to include, well, I don't have to, but I'd much rather have the side-by-side of the illustration and the image. That's why I do it after the fact. School structure is not fun because you choose what you want to learn. So you go to college, but yeah. Here's the thing, though. Like, I've had some interesting teachers, you know? Teachers that understood, like, okay, history, school in general, most kids aren't excited about. History is not something that kids are like, oh my god, I can't wait. But history is interesting. You can make a lot of these things interesting. It's how you choose to teach it. And the problem with that too is there are like a lot of regulations and stuff teachers have to abide by. But I feel like teachers, because I've had a number of teachers that just blew my mind. The way in which you go about explaining these things, because at the end of the day, students got to pay attention. Like, that's on us. And I say us because I'm still a student. We got to pay attention. If we choose not to pay attention, that's on us. But it's on them too to make it as interesting and as relevant as possible, you know? So like an atom bomb, like the inner workings of how that works, think about that. A nuke destroying everything within miles and miles of its target location, everything, diseases, bacteria, everything gets destroyed. What's left is radiation, and what comes of that is what comes of that. There are certain parts of the world humans are not allowed to go to, and I believe they're like in like the eastern part of the world, so like Japan and stuff. Humans still are not allowed to go to because of the fear of what's going to happen to them if they expose themselves to the radiation of a nuke that was set off whatever how many years ago. And it's fascinating because you could argue that those spots of the world where humans can't go to are some of the safest spots for wildlife to breed because they don't have to worry about human interference. Boom, mind blown. But to me, that's fascinating. But I didn't have a teacher explain it like that when I was in school. And again, I understand teachers have curriculum, stuff they have to follow. They have to teach a certain way. Maybe they have to teach certain chapters or whatever. But the components of what they're teaching, for the most part, after the fact that I learned, they're pretty interesting. We need some more dots. Where are these dots at? Did I do those up there? No, I did not. No, I did not. It's so crazy, though. Like, what else did I find interesting? How we got to North America? I didn't study that, but I know that was, like, something that I learned during my schooling. There was a lot of things that I learned that just, again, and that's on me. I didn't care. It's all good, Error Band. You guys already know that this video is going to be uploaded after it's done, so you can come back and catch up with it and all the goodness. I appreciate you for saying. It's all good. Next stream is tomorrow, bro. Next stream is tomorrow. But, okay, so how people got to North America. How mankind got to North America. So we started in Africa. And it's very important, and I'm sure you guys already know this, for civilization, we need water. Absolutely. Oh, I did all this. Good. Very good. So I can start doing the line work. Human civilization absolutely needs water. There's no way around it. I don't care what you say. No, it's not that serious. But we need water. Water is super important. I think it's... if I'm not mistaken, I think you can survive like 2 days without water if you're just eating food. But you can survive like 2 weeks without food if you're just having water or whatever. It's something to that extent. So water, and our body is mostly made up of water. To some extent, right? That's why, like, being dehydrated is super big thing. So you need water. Civilizations absolutely need water. They need it to drink. They need it for their crops. They need it for their animals, for their herds, whatever. They need it. There's another way around it. So that's why a big part of the reason why a lot of major cities are by the coast. Right? New York. Los Angeles. I live in Florida. Tampa, Miami. Alright? Seattle's right by the water. Chicago is pretty close to water. I'm just trying to think of stuff off the top of my head. But point proven. Basically, right? So, civilization absolutely needs water. By the way, what is, okay, I'm gonna do this. Yeah, something like that. That'll work. Cool. New York, born and raised. Dope. I was actually born in New York, believe it or not. I was born in Queens. But again, I left, or my family moved to Florida when I was like 2. So I don't consider myself from New York. Because I feel like that's like, I left when I was 2, man. I couldn't tell you where I lived. I know I lived in Queens, but if you asked me to locate Queens on a map, I couldn't tell you where it is related to like Manhattan. Not off the top of my head. So I'm not from New York. I was born there, but I mean, I don't rep it like that. I would like to go back, though. That'd be cool to live there for a bit. Not forever, but for a bit. Anyway. Can I do this? Yeah. Dope. Psychedelic LeBron 13. I'll write that down. I'll write it down. Take it easy, bro. It's all good. Okay. So, we started in Africa. As for how we started, that's another discussion for another day. You can believe what you want. Point is, we're here right now, right? Take it easy, Carter. So we're here right now. That's all that matters. But we started somewhere. We can all agree there. So let's see. What is this line? Okay. What? Oh. Most scholars believe we started in Africa. Making our way downtown, walking fast. No. Making our way around the coast. Slowly transition over to Asia. And I believe sometime during or slightly post an ice age, what had happened was when you have an ice age, the water collects, falls on the ground, but it stays hard versus it vaporizing and then going back as water. Because it's coming down as ice, right? It's an ice age, not a water age. We need more of that. Or maybe we don't. That's another story for another day. Because of that, glaciers accumulate, especially in the poles or whatever, Antarctica and North Pole. And then because of that, water levels drop. Because water is not going back into the oceans. It's coming in the form of ice and it's staying in huge masses. So what happens is because the water levels lower or decrease, whatever the proper term is, I don't know. Because it decreases, we see that certain land gets exposed, i.e. the Bering Strait that connects, what is it? Is it China? I believe it's China. I'm pretty sure it's China. China and Alaska, right? A land bridge. But the people, the individuals, the folks that were traveling, because some people will stay where they are and then others will travel. And this is over hundreds of thousands of years. No, not over hundreds of thousands, but like hundreds of years and or thousands, right? Not one or the other. Because that would contradict everything I just said earlier about the time scale. But, so they're traveling along this land bridge. Again, they don't really know it as a land bridge. They just see it as land. And it's going. It keeps going. So they go. They cross into North America, Alaska, and to Canada. They want to go south. Why? Because it's warmer when you go south. As they're traveling, they notice this, right? Along their path, their journey. But as the water levels rise, that land bridge that was once there that connected the two continents that we know today, North America and Asia, goes away because you can't see it because it's underwater now. So that had cut off the two sects of human beings, those who were a part of the Eastern world and those who are now populating the Western world that we know today. And they trickled their way all the way down to South America and all that good stuff. So when Columbus did his thing and he traveled and he rediscovered the people over here, and there's like some talks about if he was the first one to do it. Because, I mean, they had, like, Vikings and stuff. But he was definitely the one who made the most impact, the biggest difference. So he gets the credit, even though he did a lot of bad things in the process that they don't really tell you in books. Or maybe they do. I don't know if they switched up the narrative on that. But he did a lot of bad things. But, I mean, what he did was very important, too. So it is what it is. Just you get what you give. Bless. How is this? Okay, yeah. This is actually taking longer than I thought. I thought this was going to be easy, but it's going to be a little difficult. Not difficult, but it takes time. And that creates the illusion of difficulty. So yeah, it wasn't until Columbus pretty much found us again, and then the two sides were united again. Because we had to come here from somewhere. You know? The people that were here, they came from the early ancestors who were traveling through Asia. Again, sticking along the water. Just traveling. Can you imagine, like, that's what you do as you travel? Come on, bro. I gotta turn off, it's my classmate. There we go. Yeah, I can't remember the kids' movies on Christopher Columbus. I'm sure they got it all wrong. Like, they got the basic parts of it right, but they don't mention the fact that they pillaged, the mutilated, and other bad stuff these natives. Which is fine, I guess. But we know. So fascinating, man. It's fascinating to think, you know, 30 years ago, we didn't really have the internet at all. It didn't exist. 30 years ago. When you look at an old person, like, think about that. They didn't really know this world of technology for most of their life, which has changed everything. It's absolutely fundamentally changed everything. For the better, I believe. Because, like, a lot of people, especially a lot of younger kids, see it as, like, you know, Instagram, Facebook, social media. It's really so much more than that. It's information at a scale that we've never seen before. It's looking good. We got to connect this part. We're going to add the switch. We're going to add color, and then we're done. So maybe like another 10 minutes. There we go. Because think about it. If there was something crazy that happened, good and or bad, right? How would you have to find out about it? By, you know, telephone? Or if you want to go back farther than that, horse and carriage and a person carrying a note traveling from town to town? Or if they had a railroad system that was happening to go in that direction that day? That? I don't think we're going to run out of water. I don't think we're going to run out of oxygen. I'm more concerned about us killing our planet and ourselves. Because as humans, we dumb. When I say we, I mean the people who make the decisions are dumb. Selfish, greedy, whatever other words you want to use to describe it. Because here's the thing, if global warming keeps happening and the ice caps keep melting, water levels rise. And I just discussed this a little bit ago. A lot of major cities are along the coast. You know how expensive it is? What do it if I'm being bullied? I'll get to that in just a second, bro. Be more specific, though, because that's the only way I can give you decent advice. Most of these, like, these cities are off the coast. If water levels rise too quick, I mean, like, I don't even know how long it would take to move in the city 10 miles. Whatever, how much you need to do that, right? Probably takes a lot of money, probably takes a lot of effort, and we probably, if we don't, you know, deal with this situation in a quick and swift manner, we probably won't have time to do it effectively, and then we're going to see pretty much cities have water up to, like, your head. Deforestation. Yeah, unfortunately. But, you know, let's... to keep it positive, I guess. Trust that somebody will make good decisions along the line. Somebody. Anyone. Alright, so, fly bid. What do I do if I'm being bullied? Good question. Unfortunately, the answer isn't easy. Because I don't know your situation. So I can't give you like, oh, you just do this. One thing that helps is to learn martial arts. Learn jiu-jitsu. That definitely hurts. If you can afford it, that's the problem, because you have to pay to learn. You have to go to a dojo. If you're going to learn jiu-jitsu, preferably Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because here's the thing, and I'm happy you brought this up, because you know who's not getting bullied? The person who can kick, you know what, okay? Because at the end of the day, bullies pick on targets that they feel like they have an advantage over. A bully, if they have both lobes of their brain connected, right, they're not going to pick on somebody that they know that is going to be able to beat them up when things get down. Because you know what's embarrassing, especially with the internet? If you get into a fight and you get your butt kicked. Because then what happens? You got to go back to school. And you know what everybody's going to know about? That fight video that's all over WorldStar, as well as on YouTube, that everybody's seen already. And they know you're a jerk. They know that you treat people bad. They know you think you're cool. And what happens when they see that video of you getting beat up by that kid who doesn't really talk that you pick on all the time? How are they going to be able to show their face in school, right? So that's real. That's 100% real. So, but it's also not fair to say everybody learn how to fight and defend yourself, because that's not fair either. That's hard. That's like saying everybody be smart. You know, that's easier said than done. By the way, how is this silicon? Are these all... What is this? Okay, good. That's what I thought. So, the answer I would prefer is learn jiu-jitsu, because when you learn jiu-jitsu, like, you can do boxing, but you know what's scary? When you learn jiu-jitsu, somebody wants to fight, and instead of standing up, you lay down on the floor on your back. D-Rose dropped 46? Okay, wait, did they beat the Jazz then? And of course, I'm pretty sure Jimmy Butler didn't play. So he's probably like, oh my god, whatever. Whatever, D-Rose. You know, he's probably thinking, alright, cool, I guess. That sounds awesome. But here's the thing. So if you learn jiu-jitsu, right? You know what's scary? That kid, like, when a fight's about to happen and this other kid's trying to pick on him, instead of getting up, put up his fists, he lays down on the floor and lays on his back. And he says, come to me. You want to fight? Come to my world. Dang. Good stuff, D-Rose. Again, he used to be my favorite player. And then he got injured every second of every day. Okay, that's so mean, but it's kind of true. He dropped 50. Good for you, D-Rose. He's still young. I feel so mean for saying that. Sorry, D-Rose. He hurts. Everything hurts every second of every day. No, but think about that, kid who asked the question. You're on your back. You tell the bully, all right, you want to fight? Come in here. You're going to try your best probably to swing on me. But what happens if when you swing, you don't knock me out immediately? And I'm on the ground. So, A, you got to hope you get a good hit on me. Because if you don't, then I have you in my guard. And there's about 50 ways I can make you tap and or snap a bone. And you picked on me a lot. I hear the stuff that you say about me. I hear you point at me. You think I won't break your bone? You think I care if you cry? You make me cry. I'm about to make you cry. You know, and that's why, and because boxing's tough. If you're not built for that, jiu-jitsu is all about self-defense. And here's the thing about, okay, here's a really good point about jiu-jitsu versus boxing. And we're almost done with this, so this is going to be my last point. Then I got to go because I got homework to do and obligations, and I guess I got to be an adult and work out, which sucks, but it is what it is. Okay. When we look at jiu-jitsu versus boxing, okay, boxing, standing up, you're punching. Jiu-jitsu, under the ground, right? You're on your back. If you're on top, you're wrestling, or at least you think you are. But jiu-jitsu is really about being on the bottom. That's the ideology of it. You can also do stuff on top, but you have to understand the bottom first. So, by the way, let's see. Is this... Yeah, we'll make these the same. But think about that. When you're boxing, you're getting hit when you're sparring. You can't just say, all right, I want to practice boxing, but I don't want anybody to hit me, but I want to hit somebody else. No. That's not how that works. But with jiu-jitsu, think about this. You're pretty much going until somebody taps. Now, what is tapping? Tapping is saying, okay, you can stop now because if you don't, a bone is going to break or I'm going to pass out and die. Think about the power you have with that. Okay? So, if that doesn't answer your question, I don't know what will, bro. If you want to learn how to make sure nobody bullies you, A, not care what they think. B, tell somebody, be like, okay, administrator, this guy's bullying me. Like, he's a jerk or whatever. And then C, which is the option I would take, which is the road less traveled. Learn martial arts. Defend yourself. So that way, when that day comes, when you had enough and you want to take this guy to the ground, you want to embarrass him in front of somebody, and when you get him in a chokehold or when you have him in an armbar and he's asking you to tap and he's like crying, you can tell everybody to pull out their phones, take a picture of him, and then you can have him say mercy while you're still yanking on his arm. I don't know. To me, that sounds a lot better than getting beat up. But do whatever is more comfortable for you. Anyway, guys, I think we're good. I don't want to spend too much time on this. But I also want to, like, add some contrast. Yeah, I'm okay with that. We're good with that. Alright, appreciate it, David. Yeah, go on YouTube and learn some fighting moves. That's free. If you can learn something for free, I say do it. But that's going to do it for today's video. Look at that drip. Ooh, look at all that goop. I appreciate everybody for watching. I wanted this to be 30 minutes. It was more like an hour, but it's all good. We had good discussions. Talked about everything. Talked about life, our history, war, bullying, jiu-jitsu, basketball. Great. Great episode today. All right, guys, thank you. Can I get our lessons from you? Just keep watching my videos, Super Gamer. I go over a little bit of something new every single day, so if you watch my videos, you'll pick up stuff over time. Appreciate everybody for watching. Kickstarter.com for all your secret essential needs. You guys are ready? No! I'm doing daily content. Another live stream coming tomorrow, probably around the same time. I want to try to do it earlier, but it never works out that way. But I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Happy Halloween, everybody. Eat some candy. Don't eat too much. If you can, trade Sour Patch Kids for Reese's. That's my sage advice. Appreciate everybody. See y'all tomorrow.